this is the third time that we're checking with each other this week in order to simplify and thrive in 2024. You're seeing really good results, so we're just going to do the usual thing today. I will be answering your questions, some Hygge book talk. I'll be telling you where we're going to be focusing next week for our decluttering and our cleaning in our cozy minimalist homes. And last but not least, I'm going to give you a choice of 4 self-care missions. Which one are you going to choose this week? Diana Denmark here, rah rah rah. Here we go once again. I am a routines coach and I check in with you 3 times a week. On Monday, we did a 10-minute guided declutter together. On Wednesday, we did a 10-minute clean together. And today is our cozy minimalist home Hygge planning chat. We're not working with the timer today, but maybe you want to use this time to fold some laundry, do the dishes, maybe tidy up your office. And if you're new here, I don't do any sponsored content. I don't put those annoying ads that pop up in the middle of my videos. But my kids would love me to get to 100,000 subscribers. So if you'd like to support me, that's the best way that you can do that, is by liking the video, subscribe, share in a decluttering group or with your friends, or tell your family to sign up. But anyway, let's start with those questions. 2 ladies have asked, Amy and Celia, and they asked on this week's videos because you saw my kitchen drawers and I have a lot of things labelled. So they asked me, what kind of label maker do I use? And this label maker, this belonged to my dearly departed Danish father-in-law. Just the kind of basic Dymo tape. The other thing that my dearly departed Danish father-in-law did, which was a fantastic way of labelling, which I do as well, is using masking tape. You know, and in Danish you call it maler tape, which means painter's tape. Isn't that a good way of describing it? Anyway, masking tape. So anytime I need a label for something, this is something that goes in the freezer. And sauce, S-O-V-S, is a Danish word for gravy, sauce. So anytime I need a label that maybe I'm not going to need it permanently, just write on masking tape with a Sharpie pen, and that works really well. And afterwards you can just remove it, or sometimes you use it again. So 2 ideas for labelling. Right, Dina B. Okay, this is a personal question. Apart from my family in Scotland, what do I miss from Scotland? And she asked if I miss Mother's Pride plain bread with square sausage. And I have to say, when I first left Edinburgh, I moved to Luxembourg when I was 21 to work at the European Court of Justice. Worked in French there, the working language of the court is French. And whenever I went home, I missed the food. I would usually go a bit crazy in Marks and Spencer's buying stuff. But actually not, and now I've been away for 35 years? But when I'm back home in Edinburgh, I usually stock up, I bring a couple of tins of haggis back with me. Always gets caught in the airport security scanner. It's always the haggis tins which are caught there. The last time I was home in the supermarket, I saw some suet and I thought, oh, it's been a long time since I've had suet dumplings. And in Scotland, or at least my family in Edinburgh, we call them not dumplings, but doughboys. Have you heard that expression? It was being mince and doughboys. My granny was fantastic at making mince and doughboys. Right, on to the next question. Ali Hawks, who's in New Zealand. Hello, everybody who's in New Zealand and Australia. Lots of people in the Southern Hemisphere who watch here. She sees, lots of my posts about biking. I'm on my bike every day. How do I do my grocery shopping? Do we have home deliveries from supermarkets here in Denmark? So I would say, yes, it's a mixture of things. I use my bike usually, sorry, we frog in my throat this morning. I use my bike often for my groceries when I'm biking down in the morning for my dip in the sea. Quite often, I've got my lists on Google Keep. I make all my lists so that when out and about, if I'm near a place, I can pop in and get the things. So usually, and it's just me and hubby now. When the kids were at home, then I would maybe be doing a bigger grocery shop, and then I would often stock up and maybe use the car. But we do also have home deliveries, and quite often I will do that when I'm really, really busy, or up to Christmas if I know that the kids are coming and they've got some really great offers on. So it's kind of all of the above. I use the car, I mainly use my bike, and home deliveries. This is from Laura in Kentucky. And it's not actually a question, but it was a tip about Tupperware, because you know we do the thing where in our wardrobes we turn the hanger, the coat hanger, to see if we've been wearing things or not wearing things. And she said she had a little brainwave. She turns her Tupperware tubs upside down, and then later on in the year she can see if she's been using them. So a wee tip from Laura. Thanks for that, Laura. Right, next question. Dawn T. Dawn is asking about the lists that I have, you know, let me just grab them. Hygge Home, the ones that I keep in my control journal, these ones that you see. You can find them all at dianedenmark.com. There's no in, it's just dianedenmark.com. They're all for free, and I've got a page there which gives you the cleaning and decluttering list. And these are just ideas. Remember, we're not ticking off the whole thing. We're just doing something. But I'm leading you through that in the video, so hopefully that's easy for you. And all my stuff is for free, but that's what, you know, if you could help me with getting to 100,000 subscribers, that would be great. Okay, next question from Malia McDonald, maybe in Scotland. She would like to add some hygge to her bedroom. And hygge, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's the Danish art of coziness, where we're just creating, giving ourselves a little hug every day, making things cozy, welcoming. And she wants to hygge up her bedroom, but she is nervous about using candles because she's got small kids. You absolutely don't need the candles, though. If you wanted to go the LED candle route, those are great. These are ones that I actually used from IKEA. I don't know if I'll pick that up. It's a bit bright in the office today. These are the ones that are on the timer switches. I use these outside. I've got the little fairy lights, and these are ones that are USB chargeable, so they don't use that much electricity. But what I'd suggest for your bedroom is maybe making up the little pamper basket that we had, put in a book, some hand cream. If you've got space on your dressing table, maybe you've got a decorative old perfume bottle. I put my jewellery that I'm wearing the next day, I put that in a little dish. Maybe you've got an old teacup and saucer that belonged to your granny, just an odd cup, you could put your jewellery in there and display it. So just something that makes you feel welcomed when you come into your bedroom. Maybe a nice blanket, put a chair in there so you can just read for a couple of minutes. Anyway, that's a few ideas, but I've got a whole playlist about hygge, because hygge is not just a winter thing. We hygge in the summer. Right, on to the next question. Don't want to keep you back too long, and I want to give you your self-care and all those things. This one is from Luciana Bontas, and again, it's not a question. One of the self-care ideas where we're talking about doing something creative, journaling. And she said she is writing letters to her children. She's journaling her thoughts, and her hope is to give them at some stage in life a little book. And I thought that's just a lovely, really lovely thought. So thank you, Luciana Bontas, for that. You know, the comments here, I don't know if you ever read the comments that come in the videos, because we had this pact, I'm here for you 3 times a week, you're commenting. Fantastic ideas there. Right, on to the next question. Jodie says, who's a subscriber, she is a type 2 in Dressing Your Truth. If you want to know what Dressing Your Truth is, what clothes look best on you, what styles look best on you, and it's kind of like Myers-Briggs for colour analysis. I've got lots of playlists about it, and she says she's a type 2, and type 2s like to make little piles of things. Could also be a secondary 2. I'm a type 1 fork. And she says she's got a tiny home and she's got hot spots, but she likes to have her little piles out. She's got, can't remember what she said, but it was, you know, her journaling books and menu plans and all of those things. Again, I would say if you want to avoid the kind of looking like you've got piles everywhere, is to use the basket thing. Put all the things that you kind of need on a daily basis, put it into the basket, and then you can carry it around with you. If you're working at your desk, the same thing. Often I've got clients who maybe come up with ideas and think of something. You don't need to stop right there and then and do it, but maybe you can kind of pull out the file and you put it into a designated basket or tray on your desk. And at the end of the day, you can go through that thing and see what you need to work on the next day. So a little idea about that. But the main thing is that you clear that type of basket every day, a bit like the stair basket that we were talking about last week. Right, next question. Questions from Barbara B, Veronica M, Maureen W, and they're all asking about the zone work. How do I do the zone work? Are we meant to be doing 10 minutes every day? Once we've done the weekly home blessing, the weekly upkeep clean, do we do any zone cleaning the rest of the week? Okay, so here's the thing here. In the Flylady system, we've got this kind of weekly upkeep clean, the 10 minutes on vacuuming, a bit of dusting, taking out the rubbish on the high traffic areas of your house. By high traffic, I mean the areas that are using all the time. We're not talking about guest bedrooms. We're not talking about the garden shed. Just in 1 hour, you can quickly clean the high traffic areas. My high traffic areas are the hall where people come in, where we're coming and going, the living room, the kitchen, downstairs bathroom. At the beginning of the week, I do my weekly upkeep clean, and also usually on Tuesdays, but now I'm videoing on Mondays, so I'm doing it on Mondays now. I do 10 minutes in the zone. This week we've been working on the kitchen, zone 2. The rest of the week, if I can get a couple of minutes in while I'm waiting for the kettle to boil or waiting for the stew to cook, I can do a couple of minutes there. And I keep on coming back to this. Do not think of your cleaning in what should I be doing, but think of it in terms of what can I be doing? Because I know many of you get so caught up in, am I supposed to be doing 10 minutes every day in the zone? When you think of it like that, you're already putting obstacles in the way and do I have enough time? Just do what you can, all right? And that's why I always say my aim every week is to get my weekly upkeep clean done and to do 10 minutes in the zone. If I get more done than that, great. If I don't, doesn't matter. And often in times which are very stressful or coming up for Christmas, summer holidays, I don't worry about the zone work because I'm so consistent the rest of the time, it really doesn't matter. But anyway, great question. A question from Jean Baxter. Another personal question. Okay, she knows that I speak a lot of languages. We talked about that before. But she's interested in hubby and the kids. And I'll just say here, I don't share things about hubby and the kids. You'll never see them on my videos. They like to have their own privacy. But I can tell you what languages they speak. Hubby and I met when we were both working at the European Court of Justice. And we're both Francophile. We both speak fluent French. Hubby, he still reads in French. And actually, when the kids want to buy him a Christmas gift, the easiest thing for them to do is there's a really nice French bookshop here in Copenhagen. I passed it yesterday, and they just go in there and have a browse. And my hubby will tell them some books that he wants, and then they will buy that or get him a gift voucher. So hubby speaks fluent French. He also speaks and writes fluent German because growing up in Denmark, you have the German channels, also Swedish. I would say I speak better Swedish than him now. And of course, he's fluent in English. And often when he meets people for work things, they will assume that he's Scottish because he's got such a Scottish accent, absolutely fluent in English. Okay, and the kids, they obviously speak Danish and English with a bit of Scottish accent. They're both Francophiles as well, and both of them speak quite good French. My daughter's watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's seen the series so many times. She's actually watching it in French at the moment. And they both use Duolingo to keep up with that. And also they're quite good at Swedish because, of course, we have the Swedish camp. They're really good at Swedish. Food words, that's one of the first things that you learn. When you're getting an ice cream, they're always going to ask you, do you want a cone or in a little cup? So they learn very quickly to say in strut. In strut is a Swedish word for a cone. So there you go. Oh, one more question. Okay, this one is from Hannah Southard and it's about Eurovision. She asked me if I've seen Ireland's Eurovision entry, because she thought it was something quite fun. And I did look it up, and I have to say it kind of reminded me of Lena Lovitch, who had a big hit when I was just a child, but with a bit more screaming. So anyway, you can go and check out the Irish entry for Eurovision this year. Hannah loves Eurovision. I love Eurovision. And Hannah wrote this because I had posted that we're in Sweden at the weekend and we were watching the Swedes choosing their Eurovision entry. Now the Swedes, I have to say, they knock the spots off everybody else. They are really big into Eurovision, and choosing their Eurovision entry takes 6 weeks of primetime viewing. And I always say the Swedes are like, you know, in the Hunger Games you have the tributes from District 1 and 2, because they put everything into it. And Eurovision in Sweden is big business. And my daughter and I, will know all the songs, and all the songs that are in the running for Eurovision, you'll hear them being played on mainstream radio right through summer. So it's not just a kind of throwaway song that the Swedes are really into. And just a little fun fact for you. In Sweden, they have kind of compulsory music education for many years, and kids will learn an instrument. So the Swedes are big music producers. They're actually, another fun fact, they're the biggest music producers in the world if you take it per capita, and ahead of the States and the UK, because they're producing songs, they are writing songs, they're making songs. ABBA, yeah. Okay, that's the end of the questions. Books, going to tell you housekeeping for next week. Our self-care missions. Just finished the Richard Osman one, 5 out of 5. It was fun, laugh out loud. Also, it was very moving. So it was kind of the whole roller coaster of emotions. Loved it. So, finished that one. And then I'm getting on to the Ellie Griffiths that I mentioned. And just yesterday, I picked up one that I had ordered from the library. This is not a novel by Ellie Griffiths, but it is a book about Norfolk, where Ruth Galloway, the books about Ruth Galloway are based. And it's not the kind of thing I would buy, but it was nice to see some of the pictures. And you've also got some texts from the books and things about Ruth and where she would have visited, and Nelson. So anyway, it's a nice kind of coffee table book, but I'm glad I got it from the library. I wouldn't buy it, but it's fun. And next week, for our decluttering and for our cleaning, we are moving forward with our Flylady Zones. Flylady Zone 3, which is the bathroom plus one other room, an area that you wouldn't normally be cleaning. Could be a garden shed, a guest bedroom, maybe it's your office if you've neglected that for a wee while, laundry room. So those of you who are kind of wondering about the areas that are not covered by the 5 zones, that's where you put that in. Right, on to the self-care. Hope I've piqued your interest. What could Diane be asking us to do this week? Actually, I have 5 self-care missions for you to choose from this week. 5. So let me know down below 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And we've been working in Zone 2, the kitchen, this week for cleaning and decluttering. So you'll kind of see that reflected in our self-care missions. So number 1 is to use a new ingredient in cooking this week. When I'm over in Sweden, we were in Sweden last weekend, I always buy lemon curd. I've come up with this little thing where it's like crushed meringues, some lemon curd, some scoosh cream, and that just gives me a little really good, really sweet and sour dessert. I'm not big into desserts, but I do love a meringue, lemon meringue pie, lemon meringue tart. And that's a kind of easy way for me to do that. So use a new ingredient in your cooking this week. That was number 1. Mission number 2, we're always talking about shopping your home and making the area just a more hygge place to be, a cozier place to be. So for your kitchen, get a plant, a herb, something edible. If you're in the southern hemisphere, maybe you can keep it outside your kitchen door. That's where I keep mine, so I can just go out and cut the herbs that I need. That's my self-care from last week. I bought a pot of daffodils for the living room, and I've moved it into the kitchen, but I brought up here from my office today to show you. Mission number 3, We are moving seasons at the moment, whether you are in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So I would like you to put together a few new outfits. Even if you don't have the physical change of seasons where you actually feel the difference, maybe you can just change up the colours that you're wearing. We're moving towards spring, even though we've got snow forecast for later today. We had the most beautiful sun yesterday and the days are getting longer. So have a look at your outfits. Maybe you can look for something a bit more springy. Mission number 4 is to book an appointment for the dentist, for the doctor, for a haircut. I need to book a haircut. I'm getting a bit long-haired. Nails, massage, or some kind of checkup. And I know things like the dentist and doctor doesn't sound like self-care, but sometimes we really need to put ourselves out there and do things that we're not looking forward to. In the end, it's really, really good self-care. So that's mission number 4. And mission number 5, an extra one for this week, we are coming up for Valentine's Day. Now, Valentine's Day in Denmark is not a big thing. We really see it as a kind of, commercialized thing. But, you know, you could do something nice for somebody else, significant other, for a friend. And if you're in a place where Valentine's is big and you always feel like you've been left out, I want you to do something for yourself, okay? So you can get yourself a little gift, you could send yourself a little note, but do something for yourself, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. Let me know which of those self-care missions you're going to be doing. And I think, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using a new ingredient in cooking this week, because something that I did pick up in Sweden at the supermarket along with this one. I keep on seeing this in the Swedish supermarket. They don't have it here in the Danish supermarket. Do you know what this is? If you know this product, I've got ideas for it, let me know. So I'm doing that one. And the other one is I'll be putting together some new outfits for spring. And it is Friday, the weekend is coming up, and another wee fun fact about Denmark this time. This weekend is one of the busiest travel weeks for the airport. Schools are off on holiday next week. It's week 7, which is the winter schools week. That's the winter week in Copenhagen. It kind of varies. Sometimes it's week 8 in other parts of Denmark. And it's carnival this weekend. All the kids will be dressed up. There's a whole lot of carnival traditions. We eat carnival buns, fastelavnsbollar. But a lot of people travelling, and this is the busiest weekend for the airport. Now, can you guess where people are going? Well, they're basically doing things. They're either going off to where it's nice and warm and sunny, and the main destinations for people from Copenhagen, they are going to Thailand, or they're going to the Canary Islands. That's very popular. And in the other direction, they are searching out snow. They are going skiing. And most of them will be going to the French Alps and Austria. There you go, little fun fact from Denmark. I hope you got some inspiration today. I hope you got some laundry done, or dishes, or tidied up your office. Remember, Little Pact, I'm here for you 3 times a week, and you're leaving a comment on every video, liking, subscribing, and sharing. Help me get to 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, I'm going to get in my merry way, and all I've got left to say to you is live long and prosper. May the winter break hygge be with you, and I'll see you next week with a rah, rah, rah. Bye for now.